In this episode of Blueprints, we're in Montreal at Bailey, and we're going to show you how hydraulic power units and manifolds are made. This video is proudly sponsored by Fortis HD in Bailey. Before we show you how the HPUs and manifolds are made, let me first briefly explain what they are. Hydraulic power units, HPUs for short, are basically the heart of the hydraulic system. They pump pressurized fluid through the hoses that give the machines the muscle to move, lift, or push. But here's the cool part, they don't do it alone. Hydraulic manifolds work alongside the HPU like a traffic controller, deciding exactly where that fluid goes and when. So the HPU provides the power and the manifold directs the flow. You've probably seen them working together without even realizing it. Like at an auto shop, when a mechanic lifts a car into the air, that's hydraulics at work, powered and directed by this system. Or on a construction site, that's the HPU and manifold doing their thing, power and controlled, working hand in hand. So while they might not look like much from the outside, these components are the driving force behind some of the toughest machines out there. Now, with that explanation out of the way, let's see how these components are made. We're now in the warehouse at Bailey. We just got inside. Before we get to the manufacturing, we're going to go up to the engineering department and find out how the manifolds and HPUs are designed before they are made. We're now in the engineering room. This is one of the first steps of the process. Every manifold and HPU is designed and engineered by the guys behind me. We got Frederick and Ibrahim, and they're going to explain the process. Let's go check it out.
My name is Frederick. I'm the manifold designer for Bailey Group. I've been working here for 5 years now.
Can you walk us through the basic process of how you design a manifold?
Of course. I do have the schematic, which is very similar to the request we've done. Once the schematic is done, we go to the 3D model. From the software, we just drag and drop components, move them around. We will place all the parts, components, make the internal connections, and eventually we will get to something like that, which is a 3D model of another manifold I've designed before. We can see inside all the connections, all the components. Once the schematic is done and the design, we can go into simulation in the software we use. As we can see, and moving my mouse around, I can have the pressure and the flow of this exact passage. And we can see each passage, the exact pressure and exact flow and temperature of this specific point on the manifold itself. Once the design is done, the 3D model is done, drawing package and everything, once it's approved, it will be sent down the pipeline, and then we can go to full production.
Now let's see how the HPUs are designed.
My name is Ibrahim. I'm in the engineering department, and I'm mostly focused on the HPU, the hydraulic power unit design. I've been with Bailey for 2.5 years. So for example, this is the 3D model of a unit that is downstairs on the floor. So as you can see here, we have the motor here, the return filter, a manifold here. This is a custom manifold, so it has been done by Fred. The DO3 valve and the tank. And I can show you inside the tank here. You have the pump, the suction strainer, and the return to tube. The next step is just to finalize the technical documentation and send it over to production downstairs so they can make the assembly.
After engineering, it comes here to the shop floor, and this is the first step of the process, the raw material. Based on the schematic provided by the engineer, we pick our piece of aluminum, cut it to size, and send it to the CNC machine. The manifolds can be made of either steel or aluminum. The exact material depends on the client's requirements and the pressures the manifold will need to withstand. After cutting, it is inspected and quality assured. Then the job ID is written on the unit and sent to the next step of the process. Behind me is the CNC section. They have multiple here, everything from large to small. They even have one that just does plastic. Beside me is a list of the current attachments installed in this machine. There's 30 of them. With the rotating wheel you'll see up top. So they can pick and choose which attachment they need to go where and when. Just an example of the bits that they use in the CNC machine. I got the rack behind me. also the 30 that are installed on the machine currently. This is kind of what we're looking at. We have different kind of bits here depending on what is needed, right? Some of these are drill bits, some of them are thread chasers, some of them are threaded, some are just straight drills. There's a little bit of everything. Now for a full rundown of the CNC process, we're gonna go talk to Simon.
So my name is Simon. I've been working for Beeley for the last 10 years. I was machinist before that, and now I'm in charge of the floor, all the operations that we do here. So this is our 4th-axis CNC machine. Basically all our manifolds are done here. Make sure everything's clean before I put another one in. Just make sure that there's nothing on it. I just put on it and make sure to use I use this, just make sure that we're in the same place each time. There we go. That's it. Ready for another one. Well, this one, it's about 45 minutes to make half of the piece. Let me show you this. So prior to this, we make all these holes. So we're able to do 3 sides of the block per operation. So like a block like this one, we need to have 2 operations to make them. We've got a chart here with all the tools we got here. So it depends really of what the engineer would need and what the customer need. You're not gonna find some of these in the market. These drills have insert, but we prefer with the insert because we can change it. It's more effective. And we've got a reamer. So for each cavity you see, we've got a drill with insert, like I said, and a carbide reamer, just to make sure that every diameter is right on the spot.
Now let's see the CNC in action making the manifold.
So basically this part is finished. So I just take the piece off. Ensure that I do a visual confirmation that every hole seems right. Everything's all right. I'm sure that everything is right according to my plan. There we go. There we go. And when we've got a big quantity of block, each 5 block, we make sure to remeasure all the hole in the manifold block. But just to make sure that everything works fine here. So this one's all right. But there we go. So once it's done, I put him with the other one. So we're gonna put them on the other station. And we got a guy who's gonna manually deburr each also. Make sure that each hole has no sharp edge. Just blow all the piece and make sure that it's clean. So we've got one like this. So we just put them in the hole and make sure to turn around. We also have die grinder. Well, we've got a big one. Here they are. So we just put that in the hole. Make sure to not touch the outside of the hole here. And then I just press slowly and make it turn. There's no sharp edge after that. When it's done, and we bring them to the shipping, so it's gonna have the surface treatment. We use clear anodized depending on the customer. After it's done in my station, it goes to the warehouse, and after that, the mechanical room.
After all that process, they come back here to be stocked, where it's picked, taken to the mechanical assembly room. We're here in the mechanical room. This is the next step where the manifold's goal to be assembled. We're talking to some of the guys in the room on how they assemble and test these units.
My name is Boris Pierre, and I've been at Bailey for 10 months now. I'm a HPU technician.
As an HPU technician, Boris is responsible for picking, assembling, and testing the manifold and HPUs. The first step of the process is here, where he receives his daily job orders. Once he has a parts sheet, Boris begins to pick the components he needs from the warehouse. With all the parts collected, Boris can now begin putting it all together.
Well turned as well. There we go. Just to say that it has been torqued. We put this over here.
Now with the manifold all assembled, it's time to put it together and turn it into an HPU. Boris will go down the assembly line to add the pump, fittings, O-rings, and tank, torquing each bolt and doing a quality check on each step.
Here. So there's the O-ring over here.
Boris now adds the oil tube. He taps with a hammer to crimp the end to lock it in place. With the majority of the unit built, Boris will now need a supervisor to visually quality check his work before proceeding, ensuring no steps were accidentally missed. After his work is quality assured, Boris now finishes assembly.
There you go. There you go. Put the filter on. Right now it's fully assembled. Now it's gonna go to testing.
Before we go to testing, let's ask Boris a few questions. Are you currently in school?
I'm a student and I'm working here at the same time. I do like it because, you know, it's in line with what I do. Here we focus on hydraulics, welding, electricity, literally everything. It matches every single one of the categories.
What's it like working and learning at Bailey?
Oh yeah, it's great. The thing that I like about the team is there's older guys that knows more stuff. Literally, I could ask everyone a question and I'm gonna get an answer right away. I've been supported a lot.
What advice would you give to someone looking to get into this trade?
My advice, patience, mostly patience. It's gonna come, obviously, you know, hydraulic might sound complicated at first, but it's no big deal.
Now let's move on to testing. Beside me is the testing unit for the HPUs. We got the tank with all the oil, we got the hose hookups, the valving, the electric, so everything can run. They also are able to check for contaminants with their system. We'll show you how they do that.
Basically, step by step, I will do the oil test and read the percentage of particles that we have on the oil.
It is important to note that it usually requires a different team member to run these tests, as it provides another layer to quality control. However, just for this demonstration, Boris will be the one testing. With each unit, Boris will need to set up the hydraulic lines and wire up the HPU to do a test run and check for leaks or defects. With it all hooked up, he then runs the unit and increases the pressure while monitoring the results.
Right here. Here you go. This is our target. This is what we measured, so we're good on that.
The unit has passed the test. For the unit to pass the test, it must be below the green line in the graph. This line measures for cleanliness of the unit. If it failed this test, it would indicate that there were contaminants in the unit. Now Boris is going to show us how he finds leaks using the air test.
All right.
Boris is using soapy water to find the air leak. If it's an air leak, there will be bubbles. To show us an example of a leak, Boris unscrewed this cap.
So if I shoot it, you see that there's actually bubble. So it passed the air test. There's no leaks. The next step is this over here. Perfect. So this would be a completed HPU when it's done. So that's it for me and the mechanical room.
After assembly and testing that comes to fulfillment, this is the final step where the manifold or HPU will be shipped to the client.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Stéphane Dubé et je suis le manager de l'entrepôt.
Can you explain what happens once you receive the HPUs from the mechanical room?
Les pièces s'en viennent ici et on va les emballer, préparer à être expédiées. On en a justement des manifolds qui sont prêts à être emballés, si vous voulez qu'on peut aller voir. On a reçu ici des blocs manifolds après qu'ils ont été fabriqués. Souvent, ils vont être emballés individuellement et nous avons une machine à mousse autogonflante ici pour nous aider à les emballer de manière plus sécuritaire pour protéger les systèmes. Vous allez pouvoir voir. Ceci protège énormément les composantes qui peuvent être plus fragiles, comme les coils, pour les coils, les valves ici, tout ça. Fait que c'est un principe qui, pour nous, qui est très utile à protéger les systèmes.
Hey Stefan, can you give us a demonstration on how you pack the HPUs?
Si on referme la boîte, c'est pour aider le processus à ce que la mousse s'étende partout à l'intérieur pour mieux protéger. Et ça va stopper la progression du gonflage. Comme vous pouvez voir, un coup que tout est rentré à l'intérieur, après, la pièce est moulée avec les choses pour protection. Après avoir fini, normalement, on va créer des étiquettes autocollantes qu'on va mettre qu'on va coller sur les boîtes pour identification, c'est des quoi. Après ça, on a un système de wrapping pour toutes les palettes qu'on expédie.
Now with the pallet all wrapped up, the completed HPU is ready to be shipped all over the world. You've now seen the full process of how manifolds and HPUs are made, from raw materials to finished product to shipped out of the building. If you're a manufacturer yourself and you want to be featured in the next episode, please reach out, media@tekamohd.com. Again, thank you to Bailey for letting us in their facility. This is the Montreal location. It was outstanding. Thanks for watching once again, and if you have any comments or questions about the process, please comment below. If you want to watch the latest Tekamo episode, click here. If you want to watch the latest Blueprint episode, click here. If you want to subscribe, click here. That's all I got.